Welcome back to Canonymous. Protests continue and it doesn't seem like they're going to end anytime soon. But what I will say is that though they seemed very peaceful at the start of the Middle East conflict, it's really starting to get way more violent every passing day. Take a look. Well, you're probably like, where's the violence, right? Well, let's take a look at this Twitter post here, who posted the video that I just played, and what they had to say. Today, the Toronto police brazenly accelerated through a blocked roadway in front of 51 Division. Huh. Okay. Disregarding the sanctity of a space where Muslims were gathered in prayer, their vehicle accelerated close to over 20 Muslims bowed down in prayer. Amidst this, personal belongings were violently driven over by police, crushed and damaged, where during this initial horrifying moment of uncertainty, we were unclear if anyone or if someone was lying dead amidst the wreckage. Thankfully, it was only possessions that were destroyed. I mean, the difference between real human bodies and stuff, unless the stuff is perfectly, orientated to look like a human body, like some kind of weird child escaping from his bedroom and leaving like a version of himself under the blanket, you can tell the difference. It's great that no one was seriously injured, but what are you doing on the road? Get off the street in front of the 51 Division? What do you think? They have to respond to emergencies. They gotta come flying out, bro. If you had made this comment, right after a service outside of a mosque, for example, or something like that, I could probably be more sympathetic to it. But what are you doing in the middle of the road complaining that police cars are driving on the road too close to people who aren't supposed to be praying on the road? Make it make sense to me, please. Am I missing something here? Comment down below. The tweet goes on to say, my child bore witness to this entire ordeal of the humanity and to the brutalization by the police earlier in the day at a peaceful rally where police came in with their violence. Through her eyes, the message was unequivocal. The Toronto Police Service hates Muslims and anti-genocide advocates in solidarity with Palestine, to the point of endangering their lives during a moment of vulnerability and prayer. So this is in reference to what was happening, such as her child witnessing violence. This is from a protest that happened Saturday, March 31st in downtown Toronto. Side note though, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get people to hate the cops? I mean, that's probably what you're trying to do, but you're getting in the way of cops. You're getting in the way of regular people living their lives with these protests. I don't think you're going to be able to get anybody on your side. Like, I understand that your people are getting hurt and fighting and whatnot, but this is a war happening half a world away, and the Arab population of Canada is significantly smaller than the rest of Canada, even if you have people that are from other ethnicities that are on your side. It's still tiny compared to Canada, and Canada itself is going through a lot of stuff. But sorry about that, I digress. I already made a few other videos on the protests that have been happening because obviously they've been going on for a very long time. And they've all been happening, around Canada, but I've been talking about ones that have been going on in downtown Toronto. And it seems things are getting a little bit more violent. And this Saturday, a few people got arrested, around 6 of them got arrested, and someone got arrested on a completely unrelated to the protest issue and was sent over to be handled by provincial authorities. So I don't know what happened to that guy. The next thing I want to show you is just the level of delusion some of these people have at these protests.
I heard you touch kids.
Put me, huh? Nah, put, nah.
Howard. You want to touch my phone?
Don't touch her. Okay? Don't touch her.
Don't touch him either. Leave our neighborhood.
Don't touch her, okay?
He touches little kids. Don't touch
Don't touch her.
Don't touch it. Excuse me? Let go of my flag, you piece of shit.
Look.
Stop sticking your
Look.
stuff in his face.
He shouldn't be here. We don't want you here.
No,
We don't want you
never.
here.
She claims
We
that
don't
she's
want
half
you here.
Palestinian.
Bro, she's half Palestinian.
Yeah, and I had the misfortune of being born here. What do you want from me?
You want Palestine free Palestine? You want to throw Palestine free Palestine? I don't poke you if you fucking have my phone.
Go ahead,
Touch it, I'll poke you. So I'm not poking you right now, but I will.
Get this out of my face. You're creating an issue. You touch kids, we heard.
It's ridiculous the level of audacity these people are having right now. They're not the representative of the culture of the people here. At least I don't think so. Because these people are just stupid people. You know, they'll scream about, hey, don't touch me. Hey, leave her alone. And then continue to, you know, follow you around and touch your belongings. You know what I mean? You want to tell the people that, hey, don't put this stuff in my face. And then you proceed to push them and shove them and touch their belongings. So when they touch your flag, hey, don't touch my flag, but I can touch your very expensive camera and my $2 flag are not the same. It's ridiculous. You know, I can understand, you know, you not wanting to be on camera. That's fine. You know, but your faces are hidden already. So no one's going to see who you are, which is usually not a good sign, by the way. Usually, if I see someone who's hiding their face in broad daylight in public, I don't think that person is doing good things for humanity. I think they're probably up to no good. But the people filming, you know, it's funny, they seem to have their faces, they have their Twitter accounts, you know who runs them, you know who owns them, you can see who they are, but you can do whatever you want and basically get away with all the violence you choose to do, whether you choose to do it or not. Just saying. So the police had a couple statements surrounding this protest that they released. At the protest on Saturday, March 30th, protesters became physically aggressive toward officers when police lawfully executed an arrest and seized a vehicle under the HTA. Consequently, multiple protesters are now facing charges for assaulting police with weapons. Police employed appropriate and necessary force to preserve the public and the police's safety or officer's safety while maintaining order during protest activities. Particularly when faced with violence and aggression, protesters were freed to depart the event at any time. The arrest for the trucker that they're talking about had passengers in the truck bed or sometimes in mobile trailers they've seen in other instances, and they told them not to do this. On top of this, I don't think I mentioned this, but in the previous news stories, there were people poking cops with their flags and even a woman throwing feces at the cops. I don't think I mentioned this before, but it was in the previous article. So things are just getting wild. Another tweet was from the Toronto Police Association, and they said, our members are away from their families and loved ones on this Easter weekend, compelled to attend these protests. To ensure public safety, these officers ensure that people can protest safely, peacefully, and respectfully. Our members deserve the same respect that they extended to the protesters. Anything less is unacceptable, such as getting in the way and blocking the freaking road. It's just like, how do you think that's a smart idea? What level of idiocy do you have to be to think that? I'm not saying the cops are always right and they always do great things. God knows they do not. But in this scenario, you're trying to garner sympathy, and it's just, I don't understand how anybody even believes you unless they're also as brain dead as the people making these comments. Anyways, I'm going to end it there. There isn't too much to go into this. I mean, it's clearly a stupid move and done by stupid people. I've gone into many videos about how Canada cannot do anything to really stop this conflict. They have a $1.3 billion trade deal with Israel. They're not going to throw that away, just because some people are mad. I understand why they're mad, but these are international trade deals. These are billions and trillions of dollars that societies, civilizations, countries, people need. So they can't just be like, hey, we're just going to stop this instantly. This doesn't really work like that. Trudeau came out and said that he will not give weapons or something like that to Israel anymore. We don't give weapons to Israel. We never really have. They don't need our weapons. Our weapons are outdated. They have their own better state-of-the-art stuff. They've got tons of them. And, they may get some stuff from the States, but ultimately they don't need theirs either. They are perfectly capable of handling, defending, and fighting for themselves because they've been doing it for like 100 years. And finally, we send all of our weaponry to Ukraine. So whatever we do have that's viable and useful, we just send away anyway. So his complete statement is meaningless and pointless. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. This ridiculousness should come to an end, though I don't think it will. I don't mind people protesting, but I do prefer if they tend to protest about Canadian issues or things that Canada/Canadians can solve. At least if they have some way of really impacting this in a positive narrative, I could see the benefit, but we really don't. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more.